Hi, welcome to this video in which we'll be covering past paper questions on human reproduction for CSEC biology. From May-June 2015, Figure 4 is a diagram of the human female reproductive system. A. Label the organs in Figure 2 to show where they 1. The female gametes, ova, are made, 2. Where fertilization would normally occur, and 3. Where implantation of a fertilized gamete would normally occur. Now, the female gametes are produced in the ovaries. Here is 1. Fertilization normally occurs in the oviduct. Here is 2. And implantation occurs in the uterine wall. Here is 3. B. Outline the mechanism by which male and female gametes come together in the human reproductive system to form a zygote. So we know that first, sperm needs to leave the male. We know that after being deposited in the vagina, the sperm swim up the uterus and into the oviducts. And in the oviduct, one sperm will fertilize the ovum, causing the nuclei of the ovum and the sperm to fuse, forming the zygote. Next question. A young couple wants to choose between two contraceptive methods, barrier or surgical. Discuss why the male may prefer the barrier method rather than the surgical method of contraception. Your answer should include 2 advantages of the barrier method and 3 disadvantages of the surgical method. So, advantages of the barrier method: include that it is temporary, which means that the couple can have children later if they so desire. It's also easy to use. It is also generally painless. And normally does not carry any health risks. The disadvantages of surgical methods include it may be expensive. There are usually health risks associated with the procedure. It may result in pain after the operation. It may be irreversible. And it does not protect against STIs. The next question is from May-June 2006. Figure 2 shows diagrams of the male and female reproductive organs of humans. Complete the table below by writing in the name and function of each of the structures labeled 1, 2, 4, and 6. Figure 1 is the prostate, which secretes fluids to nourish sperm. 2 is the urethra, which expels semen and urine from the body. Structure 4 is the oviduct, which is the site of fertilization. And finally, structure 6 is the uterine lining, or endometrium. Which is the site of implantation. Part 2 Explain why 3 and 5, shown in figure 2, may be described as having similar functions. 3 is a testis, and 5 is the ovary. Now you should then realize that 3 produces the male gamete and 5 produces the female gamete. Now the name given to those organs that produce the gametes is gonads. So 3 is the male gonad and 5 is the female gonad. B. Name the product of fertilization. That's going to be your zygote. 2. What becomes of the product of fertilization in humans? Now, the zygote undergoes division to eventually form an embryo, which will develop into a fetus, and after the gestation period, a fully developed baby will be born. Alright, the next question asks for 2 ways in which the male and female reproductive organs illustrated in figure 2 function differently from each other. Now, there are many points that you can make here. 1. Gamete production. And gamete production has subpoints because you could either say that male gametes are produced in larger numbers, that male gametes are produced from puberty onwards, while overmature from puberty to menopause. There are other differences in gamete production as well, but moving on to a different function. You have the fact that sperm is produced in the male reproductive system and that is deposited in the female reproductive system. The female system is the one that actually houses the fetus, so it is designed to facilitate fertilization, implantation, and development. From May-June 2017, Figure 5 illustrates the events that take place during the human menstrual cycle. One, identify hormones X and Y and the event occurring at Z. Now, in order to do this, you need to know what the graph of each hormone looks like during the menstrual cycle. X is estrogen and Y is progesterone. And at Z, we see ovulation occurring, where the ovum is released from the ovary. Next, we're asked what the role of each hormone in the menstrual cycle is. Now, the role of estrogen is to repair the uterine wall and inhibit the secretion of FSH. Now, the role of estrogen is to repair the endometrium and inhibit FSH, while the role of progesterone is to maintain the endometrium and also inhibit FSH. Next, name the organ that produces hormone X and Y. X is estrogen, which is produced by the ovary. Specifically, it's produced by the Graafian follicle. Y is progesterone, also produced in the ovary, but specifically the corpus luteum. However, it does ask for the organ, so ovary should be fine. Four, Discuss the fate of each of the following structures shown in figure 4 if fertilization of the ovum occurs. So if fertilization occurs, what happens to the corpus luteum is nothing. It does not degenerate as it would if fertilization did not occur, but it persists and continues to secrete progesterone until the placenta takes over. And if fertilization occurs, the uterus lining is not lost in menstruation, but gets thicker as the developing embryo is implanted within it. Next, some contraceptive pills contain hormones. Suggest how this may prevent pregnancy. Now, in real life, there are many different ways in which contraceptive pills prevent pregnancy with hormones, but ones that you can use here are preventing ovulation, because of course, if there's no ovum, it can't get fertilized, thickening the mucus in cervix so that sperm cannot swim through it, and inhibiting progesterone, because if there's no progesterone, the uterine lining will not remain thick. Finally, a drug company is developing a male contraceptive pill. Suggest 3 ways in which this could prevent pregnancy. Inhibiting sperm development, reducing testosterone production, because testosterone results in the formation of sperm, Alright, that's all I have for questions on human reproduction for CSEC biology. All the best!